I just discovered a YouTube channel that's making $37,000 a month that literally put me to sleep within the first 2 minutes of watching, right? This took me back to my high school days of falling asleep during math and chemistry class because this channel is that incredibly boring. But here's the crazy part. When I saw those revenue numbers, I immediately snapped awake and I realized that I was looking at something special that most creators are completely missing. And I spent the next few hours diving deep into this boring little gold mine, and what I found will change how you think about content creation forever. This channel is proof that boring YouTube content is seriously undervalued, and while everyone else is fighting for attention with flashy videos and trending topics, this creator is quietly building a $37,000 a month empire in a space that nobody else wants to touch. And in today's video, I'll show you exactly how this mind-numbing channel attracts hundreds of thousands of viewers, how they monetize their sleepy content through multiple revenue streams, and why their boring approach is actually a genius business strategy. And you'll see their exact traffic sources, their monetization blueprint, and how you can implement these same strategies with your own boring ideas. Plus, I'll reveal several other boring channels that are making even more than $35,000 a month, including one that's pulling in over $100,000 a month from content so dull, it makes this channel look exciting by comparison. And if you appreciate me doing this type of content, let me know by gently tapping that like button. So let's jump into it right now with the channel, and that is the Organic Chemistry Tutor. Yep, and this is just as boring as it sounds. This channel makes lots of videos on different chemistry related topics, lots of videos on different mathematics and science related topics, and their most viewed video is how to find the domain of a function, radicals, fractions, and square roots. Interval notation. Holy crap, I almost fell asleep just reading that title. And their second most viewed video is the top 10 most important Excel formulas made easy. Their third most viewed video is trigonometry for beginners. And if we look at their most popular video on this tool called View Stats, which estimates how much revenue it made, they made $44,000 from that single video. Not bad. And this is a short video that probably took him like 30 total minutes to make. And if we look at their revenue in the last 28 days, it's $34,000 to $96,000 a month. If you expand that out a few more days to make it get to 30 days, that is $37,000 a month. And that is just from AdSense alone. And it's actually the lower end of what they're estimating. And on top of that, usually View Stats estimates low for educational channels. A more accurate estimate is usually about $8 to $10 per 1,000 views. And so if we take 13 million views times 8 divided by 1,000, we get $104,000 a month. So that is much more likely to be what they're making, is around $104,000 a month from this channel. And that's just from AdSense alone. Now they have a Patreon here, they have an Amazon store that has lots of affiliate links, and they have a website, videotutor.net. So they're very likely making money from a bunch of other sources. And if they're properly monetizing with an educational channel like this, they should be making at least 3 times more than they are from AdSense. So if this channel is properly monetizing, they're likely making $3 to $4 million a year. And the craziest thing is they haven't uploaded a video in 2 months. So this channel is passively making that much money. Let's just say this channel is only making $37,000 a month and they're not monetizing beyond AdSense. In that case, 37,000 times 12, that's $444,000 a year. And the craziest thing is, those are numbers from videos that they uploaded in the past. Like, this is pretty much passive income because these numbers that we're getting are not from new videos, right? YouTube usually promotes newer videos, but the money they're making is all from videos that they uploaded 2 months ago or even later. So yeah, this guy basically solves the problem of confusing textbooks and even more confusing, teachers and college professors with clear step-by-step explanations. But is it really boring content? Yeah. Is it probably even more boring for him because it's very easy for him? Definitely. But that doesn't really matter because there's hundreds of millions of students out there that need explanations on these topics, and they find their textbooks to be too boring, and they find their teachers to be too boring as well. So this is the less boring option. All right, next one is a channel that you would never expect to make money, but the reason I know they're making a lot of money is because this is one of my clients. Because you might be thinking, Shane, Organic Chemistry Tutor is awesome, but it's kind of like a faceless channel. It's not really a personal brand. I want to do a personal brand. And on top of that, they get millions and millions of views and they have like 9 million subscribers. So it's not really relatable, because Shane, I don't think I can get millions of views. Well, I get it. Getting millions of views is very difficult. And that's basically what's called mass market content. But a lot of my students actually make what's known as niche content where they don't have to get nearly as many views and they can make up to 100 times more money per 1,000 views. And one of those students is Nicole. Now, when I first started working with Nicole, she had 85 subscribers and she was making basically zero money whatsoever from YouTube. And in working with me, we got her all the way up to an $80,000 a month, which means if you have that over 12 months, the run rate is over $1 million. Now, what does she do? She teaches people how to get into very specific cybersecurity jobs called GRC, which is Governance, Risk, and Compliance. And yes, governance, risk, and compliance already sounds unbelievably boring, and let's be realistic here, it is. It is super boring, okay? And she helps people get into these jobs. So she talks about GRC related topics, cybersecurity related topics that are relatively boring because it's basically you're mixing cybersecurity and like law and compliance stuff, which is super boring. And then on top of talking about those topics, she talks about landing jobs, which is also super boring, right? Submitting resumes, making your portfolio, that kind of thing. It's super tedious. It's super boring. And she had an $80,000 a month doing this. And the craziest thing is, if you look at her account, you would say, there's no way this account's making any money, right? She's only making $34 to $95 and she's only getting about 14,000 views. And to the newbie's eye, you would be right? Usually channels that get 14,000 views are not making any money. So why is Nicole wasting her time doing this? Well, she's not wasting her time because she is selling products and services that solve people's problems and she's making niche content, right? So this video right here, her most recent video, the most detailed GRC roadmap, skills, certifications, projects, GRC training, etc. Super, super niche video. The only people that are going to watch this video are cybersecurity specialists that want to specifically get into GRC. And she has products and services to help them do that. And she's able to charge high ticket prices because of how niche it is, right? So she's making a ton of money by doing this. Now you might be thinking, well, Shane, I'm not a cybersecurity specialist, so I can't help people get into cybersecurity. There's something out there that you're good at, right? Maybe you've done some random career for a long period of time and something in that career can help a ton of other people. Just like Scotty Kilmer, which is our next boring channel. Now, he's been around for a while. He has 6 million subscribers, but basically he's an older guy. I think he's in his 70s and he just helps people with car-related problems. He was a mechanic for 57 years and he just helps people with car-related problems. And he just records on his phone. That's it. He records on his phone. He has a quirky, weird sense of humor, and he makes relatively boring content unless you're the type of person who's looking for a car or you're the type of person whose car just broke down and you're trying to fix it. Then it's really interesting. But other than that, it's extremely boring. And let's be honest, it's probably very boring for him because it's elementary for him, right? He's going over very simple concepts. But if you look at his channel, his most popular video is 5 things you should never do in an automatic transmission car. And he has made $116,000 from this video alone. And that's according to View Stats. Now, he hasn't posted in about 45 days or so, and he's still making $17,000 to $49,000 a month. And I can guarantee you that this is a massive underestimate, and here's why. He recently had an article that came out on Fox News, and it showed that he made $24 million with his channel. Now, just to put this in perspective, and like I said before, View Stats, in my opinion, does underestimate how much money people make. If you go to Max here, this is all time for his channel. It says he's only made about $990,000 to $2.8 million. When in reality, he's made about $24 million. Now, remember I said earlier that educational channels generally make about $8 to $10 per 1,000 views? Well, if you take his 3 billion views and you multiply that by $8 per 1,000 views, you will get $24 million. So it's literally perfect, right? So it's a really good estimate, education channels in general. So yeah, he's made $24 million just talking about random, boring related car stuff, like 5 used cars that you should buy, or doing this will make your engine run better, or how to tell if the fuel pump is bad in your car, or 6 worst SUVs only stupid people buy. So yeah, Scotty is absolutely crushing it. And he recently took a break. He hasn't posted in about 45 days. Maybe it's gonna be a short break, maybe it's gonna be a long break, but well deserved. Now, another relatively boring channel is my client, Sean Dolwitt. And he basically covers how to make Amazon KDP books. Now, his content is relatively repetitive, right? And you'll notice this with a lot of like boring but super effective channels, is their content is relatively repetitive because they're just talking about the most important stuff. Like Scotty's channel, he kind of makes a lot of the same videos over and over again. Graham Stephan's channel, he kind of makes a lot of the same videos over and over again. I mean, how many times has he told you to invest in index funds if you watch his channel? And it's the same thing with Sean, right? He kind of just says the same stuff over and over and over again when it comes to making Amazon KDP books. But this is really what his audience needs to hear, and this is what works on YouTube. And when he first started working with me, he was making around $10,000 to $30,000 a month, and we helped him scale all the way up to over $500,000 a month within 9 months. And by the way, you can actually get access to GPT's literal AI that has been trained on all of our coaching sessions, thousands of hours of coaching sessions, including ones with Sean, and it'll help you to pick the right niche, pick the right video ideas, and properly monetize your content. You can check that out down in the description and the pinned comment below. So yeah, if you looked at Sean's channel, you would probably think, oh, he's only making, $1.9 to $5.2 thousand a month. Well, I can tell you that in AdSense, he's making far more than that. He's making somewhere around like $15,000 to $25,000 a month in AdSense. Again, for educational content, especially niche educational content, these tools represent how much you're making. They underguess, basically. And then on top of that, he is monetizing like an absolute beast on this channel. He's making over $500,000 a month from this channel. And he's doing that because it's a niche channel and he's solving problems for his audience in the form of products and services. Now, figuring out how to do this properly, figuring out how to choose the right niche. Some people get stuck for years doing that. Figuring out how to actually get views and choose the right video ideas. People get stuck for years on that. And then figuring out how to properly monetize can literally take you years and years to do it on your own. If you want help doing this, we are offering free strategy sessions where you can actually book this and talk with myself or my team down in the description and the pinned comment below. In this strategy session, we'll figure out where you are right now, where you want to be, we'll figure out a plan to get there, and we'll see if we're a good fit to work together or not. It'll be the most valuable 45 minutes of your year. So absolutely book that. It'll be down in the description and the pinned comment below. And on top of that, check out this video of me interviewing Sean, talking about how we got him from 30K per month all the way up to over 500K per month by clicking right here.